In this pick a card reading, we're going to connect to your future self to discover the messages you need to hear right now. Your future self has already gone through what you're experiencing, and these messages can help you see what's going on from a higher perspective, understand what you're moving towards, and navigate what's coming with clarity and confidence. In a moment, we'll take a closer look at the 3 piles so you can tune in and see which calls to you. You might find you're drawn to more than one pile, maybe even all 3, and that's totally okay. Trust your intuition and watch whichever readings you feel guided towards, because each one might hold something meaningful for you. As always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and I've put the links to each reading in the description below so you can jump right to the readings you want to watch. Let's look at the 3 piles. Welcome to the 3 piles. This is pile 1, this is pile 2, and this is pile 3. For pile 1, we have some Tiger's Eye, and the Oracle card of Kingdom. For pile 2, we have some Rose Quartz, and the Oracle card Limitless. For pile 3, we have Labradorite. Just trying to block the window out, but not happening. So that's the Labradorite. And we have the Oracle card Freedom. So go ahead and tune in to these 3 combinations, 3 piles, see which one or ones you're attracted to, and the links for each of the readings are down below, and I will see you in whichever one or ones you choose. Welcome to the reading for pile 1. This is the one with the Tiger's Eye, and the Tiger's Eye is the Stone of Confidence, and it basically helps you eliminate self-doubt. And then we have the Kingdom, or Kingdom, and this, what I'm getting from this is basically you are the one in charge of your life. You have to have courage, like the lion Leo here, to be in charge of your life, and it is you that creates your reality. So the message is sort of based on this courage and creating your reality, being in charge. This is your life. You deserve to be the driver in the driver's seat, no one else. So this is what this reading is going to all be about. So we are going to get some cards and find out what your future self wants you to know, or needs you to know in this case, right now. So we're going to start with the actual message, and I want 3 cards for this, and see, or messages, see what it is that your future self really wants you to know right now. So, the messages your future self needs you to hear right now. For the first one, we have the 3 of Wands. And what this is saying is, it can see over all the things you're currently doing, all the kind of ships you've sent out, all the thoughts you've sent out, all the passions you've sent out, all the work you've done, all the requests, everything that you have sent out that will create your reality. it can see this from a higher perspective, and it's looking over it and it's waiting for it all to come back in for you so that you can see it as well. And as you can see, it is stunningly golden. That is the biggest thing that's coming through here, is it is golden. So you create your reality, and what you're creating is golden, and that means it's the highest vibration. Gold is super high vibration, and what you're creating right now is 5D and above, and you've put everything you need to put out there, and now all you have to do is wait for it to come back in, because you've done what you needed to do to get there, to create this future that you're wanting. So this is why your future self wants you to know this. There's no more extra stuff you have to do. This is it. You've done it. Now it's just a case of letting external reality reflect the inner work you've done, and wait for it to come back. Okay, so the next one is the Two of Cups reversed. And what this is saying to me is this is all about going inwards and really getting to know yourself. Meet the inner you, the authentic you, your higher self, whatever you want to call it. Meet that divine aspect of you and actually learn what makes it tick. What is valued by you? What thoughts and beliefs and so on do you have in there? And really start to come across as your higher self. This is a really big thing. We all kind of wear masks because of like our beliefs, what society thinks we should be, and so on. And your future self is saying you need to play more of every day until you're 100% of every day as your authentic self. So go inside, meet your authentic self, know your authentic self, and start walking a mile in their shoes, because this is the real you. And you need to show up as that more and more and more to make this happen. So the next message is the Seven of Cups reversed. And to me, this is saying something quite similar to this, in that you need to get to know all your choices, sort of, what you do and think around money, what you do and think around fame, what you do and think around imagination, and so on. What do you value? What are your values? What are your beliefs, your core? What drives you? And this is like, let go of the ego, let it just become a shadow and just gone. The real you is what needs to come through and be seen. And you need to know what the real you wants of all of this. So really kind of getting to know yourself, because once you know that, it's a lot easier to create what it is you want. That your future self is telling you that when you do this, you are going to create the most amazing future that it is already in, and it can see how incredible it is once you've done this work. So let's have a look with a different deck at two skills that will help you do this. Two skills you have in your life that will help you really get to know your authentic self and who you really are and what you really believe, and sort of what drives you under the hood kind of thing. And these are two skills that your future self is telling you. These are what got you there, because if it's sitting there, then you've obviously done this for your future self. Okay. So Swords cards. Right, we have the Eight of Swords reversed. So what this is saying to me is one of your skills that will help you do this is that you're really good at sorting through and finding the beliefs that are no longer serving you so that you can let them go and make this change and be more you. Because every time you let a negative belief go or a definition that doesn't serve you, then you are becoming more and more of your authentic self. So this is telling me that this is actually one of your skills, is to be able to sort through these beliefs, sit down and really figure out which ones you want to keep, which ones you want to let go of. And that's what this woman is kind of doing right now. She's trapped in these beliefs, and she knows which ones to take out. You know, if she takes these two out, she can walk out, and so on. So that's one of your biggest skills that will help you work this out. The next skill that will help you is the Ten of Swords. And what this is saying to me is you are incredibly persistent, incredibly courageous as well, but it goes back a little to this, in that no matter what happens to you, everyone else would have written themselves off. You don't. You keep going no matter what, because you have it inside you to do this. You know that you create your reality. So you are going to do everything you possibly can to keep going and keep creating this beautiful reality that you know you want. And so this skill is essentially persistence. You will keep going. You will do this work and you will work this out so you can get to here. And that's a really, really good skill to have, that persistence, because it will push you through when times, if times get hard, you know that you can keep going. It doesn't matter what happens. You know you will keep going because you are focused on that goal. So let us have a look at what else we might want to know. So let's see what brought you to this point, that, this is all the work that you need to do, and it was now time for your future self to get involved and tell you about it so that you could finish it off. What brought you to this point? And for this we have the Queen of Swords. And what this says to me is you have gotten really good at mental control. So a bit like the skill, you're really good at clearing anything that you find that gets in the way, and you're really persistent. So what brought you to this point is your mastery over those two skills, in that you are very good at saying, okay, I'm not getting the results I want, this is what needs to change, and then you use these skills to do it. And you're very good at saying, this is what I want, this is what I don't want, and therefore I'm going to do this and take this action and change this thought. And you are very good at that, and that is what's brought you to this point, because of this mastery, your future self can now come in and say, right, this is the work that's left. So now is the time to know that, because it knows you'll do it. So what's the first step that you're going to see moving forward towards this beautiful future that you are creating for yourself? What is the first step that you will actually see in reality? And we have the King of Pentacles. So this to me means that you are not only going to become a master of your mind, you're going to start becoming a master of the physical. So you're going to start, because of this mind mastery, you're going to start seeing manifestation happen faster and faster and faster, to the point where you can tie it up of like, I said this, oh, and there it is. Because your vibration is raising up so much because of this work and this persistence and this mastery. This is the first thing you're going to see. So this is the sign you need to look for that you're on this path, is your manifestations get faster and you get more abundant because of it. Not just money abundance, but all abundance. Ideas, creativity, joy, love, happiness, the whole works. You just are abundant in manifesting what you want fast. So how can you use whatever it is you're going through right now? Because there's something in your life, you're not at this point yet, so there's something in your life that isn't quite the way you want, maybe. And how can you use that situation or those situations, whatever it is, to like bring what you want into being, rather than just ignoring it? How can you use it and turn it into either motivation or just the building blocks of what's coming for your future, for this beautiful golden future? And for this we have the 9 of Pentacles reversed. So what this says to me is you're possibly going through some financial stresses at the moment, life not being quite as luxurious as you would like. That, or it's something physical, so it could be health as well. But money or health, either way, whatever it is that you're struggling with, this is the path through to this. So what you want to do is really sit down and focus on it. Like, this bird's got a little hood on, so it can't focus on anything else. It's got its eyes closed, basically. So sit down and close your eyes, meditate, really feel into it. When you've got your eyes closed, all your other senses become heightened because you've not got that sense of sight in that moment. So really start to feel into this. What are you feeling from it? Because that will help you work out how to use this gift that you already have to work out which of these beliefs makes you feel that it's not in alignment with your higher self, and that this is the one that you need to let go of, because you are that master of the mind. So really feel into what it is about this current situation, whether it's money or health or something else physical. It's definitely physical, that you are struggling with, and just sit with it, feel it, and work out what the root of it is. What's underneath the whole thing, what's making it grow in your life. Because you do create your reality. So there's something that you believe, you've defined, that is creating the current reality you're in. And you need to work out what it is so that you can let go of it, and really embody more of your authentic self instead. What else can we know? Let's ask why your future self chose this moment to tell you all of this. So what's so special? What have you managed that it became pertinent, that you now need to know this information? So why did your future self choose this moment to tell you these messages? And for this, we have the 10 of Pentacles. So again, it's very physical, quite possibly very money-based as well. What this is saying to me is, when you can do this and change this, you are literally one step away from having amazing wealth and abundance. And not just wealth in terms of money, but wealth of everything, wealth of abundance, wealth of friends, all sorts. It's this manifestation. So once you do this, this will help with this. And this will lead you to this incredibly golden, abundant future. And it knows, your future self knows this is literally just around the corner, one step away. So it really is all about just finding this one thing that is caught up in your struggles at the moment. It's what's created your current struggles, and clearing that one thing is going to bring you to this point that will allow you to create this golden future. So this is why your future self has stepped in, to give you the confidence, the clarity, the awareness that you are really, really, really close to creating exactly what you want. So let's have a look at what could hold you back from following this. In case there's anything, what one thing could hold you back from this and stop you creating this. And for this we have the Fool reversed. So what this is saying to me is to stop you creating the life of your dreams, basically. What you do is you listen to that little yappy mind in there going, but you're not good enough, but you're blah, 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 blah. Whatever it is, whatever these negative thoughts are, you are this master, you need to clear it. And this will come up. This is part of what's going to take you out of your current reality and into manifesting your new reality, is getting rid of this little yappy dog, that little negative thoughts that kind of go on in your mind, because that is what's going to hold you back. Nothing else, just your mind. Just remember, this is a massive skill you have. You are the master of your mind. So don't let it hold you back and stop you from getting what you really want. And let's pull one last card. What else do you need to know? Let's say, what advice have you got from your higher self so that you can embody your higher self even more? What's one card, one thing that you need to know? Further advice. And for this, we have the Queen of Pentacles reversed. So what this is saying to me is really go inwards. Get to know the heart of yourself, this sort of secluded little place that you keep secret from everybody else so far. Really go in there and start to get to know yourself and get to know what drives you. It's sort of linked with this card. Get to know what pushes you forward, what you really want, who you really are, and really get to know that aspect of yourself, and then take it out into the world and be that authentic self that you are once you've gotten rid of this little yappy voice in your head. Drop a like, subscribe and comment below if this resonated. If you would like your own reading on exactly, which thoughts that you need to clear, then there is again a link in the description below to book a private reading. I'm Karen from Soul Driven Tarot, and I will see you in the next pile or the next video. Okay, welcome to the reading for pile 2. This is the one with the rose quartz, and the rose quartz is the stone of unconditional love. It basically activates your deep self-love. And the limitless card, and this is all about stopping limiting yourself, seeing this vastness of who you truly are. You are one with source. You are a part of the creator. So limits are just not applicable, really. You are the one in charge of your life. So you need to start seeing who you truly are. So let's have a look. We're going to draw 3 cards that will give you the messages that your future self wants you to know about, needs you to know about. So we want 3 cards for these messages. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and the first card we have is the Ace of Swords. So what your future self wants to know is it's now time to take action on this and realize who you really are deep down. Your higher self is, an aspect of God, an aspect of source, whatever label you want to put on it. And it's now time to start taking action and actually thinking that, change your thinking so that you actually realize just who we each are and who you are deep down. And the next message is the 5 of Pentacles. And what this is telling me is that your future self wants you to know that it's okay to be outside of society, outside of what other people think is normal. And it doesn't necessarily mean you're struggling like these two are. It just means that you're different. You're not sort of locked away while everyone else is ignoring the stuff that is going on in the world. Instead, you're going to actually see both sides of things. You're going to see the truth of the world and how it is. No more kind of hiding and pretending bits of it don't exist. The higher vibration you go, the more you see of everything, not just the good, happy bits. You're going to see the other bits because, people are struggling out there. So you're going to be more aware of it. You're going to become more compassionate to them rather than just sort of locking yourself away and talking about it. It's going to become more of a practical thing that you can do to help people. So your future self wants you to realize that this is what you're moving towards. You're moving towards this higher vibration that you can actually see both the good and the bad. Not that the good and bad actually exist, but you can see the dark and the light and the struggle and the flow, and you can see the whole thing and still stay centered and calm and grounded in who you really are, what the truth of you is, and that it's okay for this to happen because that is where they are and this is where you are, and that's okay. So this is what your future self wants you to know right now. The next thing it wants you to know is the Knight of Cups reversed. And to me, this is saying it really wants you to embrace that love vibration right now. Really go deep inside and see that self-love. This links back to this. You have to love yourself absolutely, completely, and utterly, unconditionally to realize that you are this limitless being. Because there is not a single aspect of Source that Source doesn't love. And that includes you, me, everyone. And you have to have that same awareness, that deep, deep self-love, which is why you were attracted to this card, this stone. It is about that self-love. So it's about opening up your heart and really getting to complete and utter unconditional self-love. That's what your future self needs you to know right now. So let's pull a different deck and have a look at what skills you have right now. 2 skills that will help you with this, help you get to this unconditional love, the higher vibration, and the taking action and on actually being your true self. So what 2 skills have you got that will help you do this? So 1, 2. We have the Emperor. And what this says to me is you understand that you're the one creating your reality. It may be on a mental plane so far. It may be that you actually sort of do it and realize it, or it may still just be a sort of a mental understanding, but you, at some level, understand that it is you who are in charge of your life. And that's what's going to bring you to this limitless, once you really start to embody it and really see its effects in your life. You are the one who's like, your words are your magic, basically. You channel all your information in from your higher self and you bring it out and into the world, basically, to create your world. And the next skill we have is the 3 of Cups. And this is partly celebration, partly in this case it's all ages. The maiden mother crone kind of aspect comes through in this. And it's pure unbridled joy that you are celebrating. You treat all ages equally. You're not just trying to exist with people of a certain age group. You are comfortable across all the ages. You can talk to anyone. You can really see the joy in any situation, and you know when to celebrate, like your work, your wins, everything. You are really good at that side of things, of that celebrating yourself and realizing, how limitless you are. You've got a really good skill at celebrating what goes right, or what you managed to create that you wanted to create, if that makes sense. So let's have a look. What brought you to this point? Given this is where you're going, and this is what inspires you to get there, and these are your skills, what brought you to the point you're at right now that your future self thought, okay, it's a good time? So what brought you to this point? What transpired in your life? And for this we have the Lovers reversed. So what this is saying to me is, what brought you here is you started to raise your consciousness, basically. So you were very attached initially to the physical aspects of things, the sort of 3D aspects of things, and everything that you were doing was related to that. So you achieved, or not, whichever it is, in that realm, and that was where your focus was. And then what happened that brought you to this point is you looked up and you started to see a higher perspective of things. You started to take this point of view instead. And when you went inwards, you embraced this point of view. It may not be fully there yet. It may be fully there, whichever, wherever you're at on that scale. But you have taken that leap. You're not just stuck down here anymore. You are going deeper within and a higher vibration by taking that higher viewpoint. And that is what's moved you forward and made this future possible. So what's the first step, let's say, or first sign that you're going to see that you are moving towards all of this? What's the first thing that you're going to see that will happen so that you know that you're on the right path, basically? And for this we have the Ace of Pentacles. So what this means to me is that something massive is going to appear in your life, something very physical. Could be a lot of money, could be really good health, whatever it is, it's very physical. And it is going to be given to you almost like a miracle. And you're going to see that in your life, and that's going to be like, yes, now I am moving into this future and going through what my future self told me is what, I need to be doing and stuff. And I'm going to use these skills to get there because I've already started. And there's going to be this amazing thing that is it's almost behind closed doors, as in, most people are not going to see this happen either for you or in general if other people are involved. And it's going to completely change everything for you and make life almost like a Garden of Eden kind of thing. It's going to change a lot, and it's going to be this big physical change. So that is what you're going to see first, and I think you will know it when you see it because it is so big. So let's have a look at what you're currently going through, because most people are not quite in the future that they want yet. They're still working on it. And as such, they could be struggling with something. So you might be struggling with something, whatever it is, however big or small. So how can you use whatever it is you're currently going through right now to build into this and start to see yourself as this unconditionally loved by yourself, limitless being with the capacity to have a very high vibration and see things as they truly are? How can you use your current situation to help you springboard you forward? And this is very interesting. We have the Emperor reversed. So we have two Emperors in this reading, since I used two different decks. And what this says to me is you can realize the biggest thing you can do is you can sit down and you can admit to yourself that whatever it is you're currently going through, you are the one that created it. Because you are the one who creates your reality. Reality is actually inside of you, not outside. You are the one who creates what you see, feel, hear, etc. So getting to the point where you are comfortable with where you were, because something inside of you, be it a belief you no longer want, whatever it is, something inside of you created the reality that you are currently in. And sitting down and owning that is what's going to launch you through all of this. And I know that's a really tough one. So I sincerely hope you are ready to hear that. So let's have a look at why your future self chose this moment to tell you all of this. What's the deal behind telling you? Why now? And for this, we have temperance reversed. So what this is saying to me is, it told you this because you are right now at this kind of turning point. You've got a foot into this unconditional self-love. You've got a foot outside of it. You're sort of mixing your emotions. You've got a possible path over here, but you're kind of like not quite landed because you're still flying because your wings are out. And you're not quite committed to anything yet. You're sort of all balanced in between, trying to work out where you fit and what you need to do. And this is why your future self has stepped in right now to tell you about these skills and about what you need to do to get to a beautiful future and actually realize how beautifully limitless you are. And to have this miracle happen because you've already started towards it. So it's wanting to encourage you that you are at this turning point. It could go either way, and it's your choice. You're the one in charge of your life. You've got the Emperor. It is a good skill of yours, so you know that you are in charge of things, and now you've just got to know that you are in charge of things rather than just mentally know it. You've got to own it, and this is the point that is obviously where you make that decision and you decide to go, you know what, I'm taking responsibility because I want to change what's going on and I want better for myself. And therefore, if I take responsibility, I have the ability to respond and I have the ability to choose something different. Whereas if I don't, then I'm a victim. And outside stuff affects me, which isn't true. So this is your point where you're sort of teetering on that will I, won't I? And this is why your future self has come in and said, you need to know this. This is where it's going. If you can just sit down and realize it. So, what could hold you back from doing this and become this, unconditionally loved, limitless being that you genuinely are, and actually realizing it? What can stop you from doing this? So in other words, what do you need to avoid doing? If you want to go this route, it's up to you. It's your reality. What can stop you from doing this? Yeah, there we go. Okay, we have the Five of Cups. So what can stop you from doing this is start focusing on what's going wrong in your life. Because what you focus on, you get more of. So if you start focusing on this, you're going to get more of this. Whereas if you start focusing on these two, which are perfectly fine, you'll get more of this instead. So this is this point that you're at. Do you take responsibility and, realize that you create your life, or do you, not, and see it as outside circumstance? So whoever kind of kicked these 3 over, are you going to associate with that you, or are you going to associate with this you? And this is what can hold you back. So you have to be really aware of your focus, especially your emotional focus. Where do you invest your emotions? Are you feeling like super grounded? Are you feeling joy? Are you feeling love? Or are you feeling pain and hurt and guilt? Because the more you focus on whatever it is you're focusing on, the more of it you will get. So focus on the one that you want, rather than, doing this, which is what will stop you from getting all of this. So let's have one last card, and let's get some further advice from your higher self. What else do you need to know around this that will, help you move in the direction that your soul wants you to move in, your higher self wants you to move in, the authentic you. And for this, we have Death Reversed. So what this is saying to me is it is about massive internal change. So this is obviously quite a big thing, which is why it came up. And it's about realigning that focus, that internal change of your focus. Because once you do that, that will help you commit, which will help you do this, which will help you see this, which will then help you use these strengths and this start that you've made to change this into this deep self-love, limitless being. So it is about changing this focus. That is what this is telling me. It is all around that. It is a massive internal shift in what you focus on. And that is the advice that your higher self is giving you, and that goes with, your future self. Drop a like, subscribe and comment if this resonated. If you would like a private reading, there is also a link in the description below. I'm Karen from Soul Driven Tarot, and I'll see you in the next pile or the next video. Welcome to the reading for pile 3. This is the one with the labradorite stone, which is a stone of transformation, and it helps expand your consciousness. And the Freedom card, which again is all about mastering yourself, knowing yourself. And once you know yourself and really truly know yourself, then you know how to move forward, how to take off and fly. So that is the basis of all of this. So let's have a look. We are going to ask for 3 cards. That is the messages from your future self, that your future self wants you to know, needs you to know. And 3 cards. So the first card we have is the World. And what your future self wants you to know, this is what you're heading towards. This is this freedom. You have, at this point, you have graduated. You are among like the spirit guides, the galactics, the higher vibrational beings, the interdimensionals, the everything. You are up there. You have graduated to a much higher dimension, and this is showing just your mastery over the whole thing. This is what your future could be if you follow whatever's coming, kind of thing. This is where your future self actually is right now. It is that master of everything, master of creation, and that's what it wants you to know about. So the next message is the Five of Swords reversed. And what this says to me is it's time to start looking at your thoughts, your beliefs, and working out which ones are actually high vibration, which ones aren't as such. Because while you do speak to other people, obviously, in this reality, and, they're creating their reality, you're creating yours, and you have contracts, and so sort of at a soul level, how you treat other people because of what they've asked their soul, asked your soul to do, and so on, to deliver these messages and things and experiences to this other person. But at the end of the day, you need to be more aware of it. And you need to be more aware, like multidimensionally aware. Every timeline, what are you doing? What are you coming from the light, or are you actively going out there to do something that isn't quite right? So it's a case of looking inside, however small that not quite right is. You have to be absolutely, completely and utterly honest with yourself, looking inside about all these thoughts and beliefs and thought patterns and definitions and motivations that you have. Are you saying what you're saying from love, or are you saying it from another perspective? And if so, it's time to clear some of that up, if that makes sense. So the next one is the Seven of Swords. And what this tells me is your future self, again, I think it's linked with this. It wants you to look at these thoughts. Which ones can you kick out and leave behind you that will, make you happier when you leave them behind, because you're going to be more of you. And see how you tread in the world. Are you treading lightly in the world, or are you making big ripples that affect other people? Because we are all one. So anything you do to somebody else, or even just a thought about someone else, a judgment, anything like that, it actually is about yourself. And to get to higher vibration, that has to go. So this is all about, to be this free, you have to let go of things that are no longer serving you, that are making you walk through the world with a few more ripples than you would like. You instead, you want to walk through the world lightly, change it for the better, change it, by being very high vibrational and letting people come to you and ask you things, rather than digging your thoughts in everywhere, of like, this is my belief and I stand by it and this is what should happen. Let that go. It does not serve you at a higher vibration. Just let it go, put a smile on your face, sort through things, and start tiptoeing and just lightly walk through the world. Hopefully that makes a bit of sense. So let's have a look with a different deck at what skills you have that your future self knows you have that will help you with this, so that you can get to this point. What skills will help you get there that you already have innately? And let's have two of these. So we have the King of Cups reversed. And what this is saying is, right now, one of your skills is about keeping yourself emotionally balanced on the inside. no matter what's going on around you, you are very good at staying that calm, peaceful, flat, like the horizon line, inner peace. So this is a skill you actually have, whether you know it or not. You are very good at non-reacting, is probably the best way to put it. You're solid. Whatever happens, even with your thoughts, you are grounded, solid, not reacting emotionally to things. And the other skill, this is the 8 of Wands reversed. And what this is saying to me is your other skill is control, basically. You are very good at being in control of whatever's going on around you. You don't lose your temper, which kind of goes back to this. You don't overreact. You don't yell and scream, that kind of thing. You are highly controlled, self-control. And it is a very, very deep skill for you. Sort of whatever is going on anywhere, you are going to remain in control and not let anything show for it. Partly because of this inner peace, and partly because of almost like an iron fist of this will not show. I am in control. So there's some very interesting skills given what your future self is saying you need to do. So let's have a look. What brought you to this point? What helped you get mastery of those skills? What is, responsible for these? What brought you to this point? And for this we have the Page of Wands reversed. Oops. I'm going to move that up a little bit. There we go. What this is saying to me is that you are very good at examining what you're truly passionate about and what you want to say, which says to me that these two are more about your thoughts, because we are all connected. Your thoughts do get felt by others, whether they consciously, can hear those thoughts or, feel those thoughts or not. They do react. I mean, it's like that book on water. Was it someone Emoto who, sort of like thought nice thoughts at some water and thought horrible thoughts at other water, and then you look at the crystals after they're frozen. Your thoughts do affect other people. And so what brought you here is that you are very good at examining what you're passionate about and what you say to the world. Where we need to get control is what's going on in your mind, not what comes out of your mouth, if that makes sense. So what brought you to this is you do have this control now of, you would never be nasty to somebody out loud. And maybe you don't know that your thoughts affect other people, I don't know. But you are at the point where you are consciously trying to do your very, very best in every possible situation by being considerate to everybody else as well as yourself. Which means you are of a certain vibration. You're not actively out there to hurt anyone by a long way. You are actively out there attempting to make other people's lives better. So you've come a very long way towards this. And now it's just the little extra bits. But that's what got you here to the point where you're ready to work on these extra little bits. So what's the first step towards moving towards this that you're going to see? What sign is going to come up to show that you're on the right path, making the right moves? What's the next thing that's going to happen that you will see, that you know that you're progressing towards this perfect world? And for this we have the Five of Cups reversed. And what that's saying to me is you're going to start noticing and being grateful for all the things that you wanted to see in the world, that you like. You're going to focus on, I'm going to put the label of good, but you're going to focus on all the stuff that you're grateful for, instead of focusing on the stuff that you don't want. So this is the first time when you cross that sort of thought patterns of I am consciously going to focus on these thoughts and emotions, that this is what I'm grateful for, and I'm consciously going to give thanks to yourself for creating what you actually wanted in the world instead of focusing on these things. So that's going to be a very big but very subtle change in your focus. And that is one of the first things you're going to see, because that's going to change. You change these and you're going to change these as well, essentially. So, pretty much everyone in the world is going through something right now. They're not 100% where they want to be. Maybe they're 99% of the way there, but not yet 100% of the way to exactly where they want to be. And so, chances are you're going through something that you're probably either struggling with or wishing you weren't going through, or whatever it is. So how can you use whatever it is you're going through right now to give you this sort of springboard to jump into this new awesome world where you're graduating, you're in control, you're the one who is, super high vibrational and dancing among the stars kind of thing. How can you use what you're currently going through to help get you there? And for this, we have the Sun reversed. So what this is saying to me is you've got to look at where you are right now and see the good in it. See what you're getting from it. What are you learning from it? What are you growing? How are you growing because of it? What is it giving to you? What gifts is it bringing you? How does it actually light you up and kind of, sort of shine a light on some of the darkness that's going on that you hadn't noticed yet, and lighten it up and bring it into the light. So really kind of look deep inside and look for the positives of whatever it is you're going through, so that you can transform it into the light, and actually sit with it, own it, and move through it. So why did your future self choose this moment to tell you all this? Why now? Why not 5 years from now? Why now? Why is it decided to come forward now and tell you these messages? And for this we have Temperance. So what this is saying to me is it's ready to show you that you're the one creating your reality. You pour your thoughts and beliefs and emotions into this, and this is what happens as a result. And you're ready to truly embody this. Like this step is saying, you're ready to switch your focus into gratitude for what you're getting. And you can do that with your current situation of like, yes, this might be whatever you don't want. But if you look at it this way, you're actually learning this from it or getting this from it or whatever it is. So you're seeing the positive. And this is about changing that. So it's about going through that change and just change in perspective and balance and just sorting things and making them into a different sort of shape, a different way of feeling about things, a different way of seeing things. And it knows you're ready to do this. This is why it picked this moment. You have these skills and it wants you to sort of use all of this that you've got to be able to do this so that you can move into this awesome future that you have, like right in front of you, that your future self is currently sitting in and enjoying. So let's have a look at what could hold you back from doing this. You know, what could make you decide not to do this and to go the other way? Or, you know, if you do want to go this way, what do you need to avoid doing? So two sides of the same coin. What can make you, what can hold you back from doing all of this and creating this beautiful future? And for this, we have the Six of Swords reversed. And what this is saying to me is what can hold you back is essentially burying your head in your sand and pretending things aren't happening. So it's a case of not taking responsibility. You're just going to hang on to these thoughts, even though they cause trouble in your life and a bit of sort of turmoil. You're just going to hang on to them and, you know, shut your eyes and go, oh, well, nothing I can do about it. So that's what you want to avoid doing, and that's what can stop this from all happening. So it is really about taking action, because if you take the action, you will do this and you will get that beautiful future. So let's have one last card around what your higher self, some further advice from your higher self, what your higher self wants you to know about this, that can help you towards this. And for this, we have the Eight of Pentacles reversed. So what this is saying to me is that your higher self wants you to know it's not about getting it perfect. It's just about putting the work in. Don't avoid doing the work, but the moment you do the work, you'll change this, you'll start seeing the positive from things, which will help you, you know, change this and so on. And you'll stop worrying about how to do it perfectly. You'll stop being in this total control in a way that is almost like clamping down on it rather than just being the master of it. And I think this will help you actually reverse it so that you're in control, but in a more higher vibrational way. And it's just saying, you know, sort of be kind to yourself. You aren't quite there yet. You want to be there. You have the goal. And now you just need to stop worrying about being perfect and just do it. The more you do it, the better you're going to get. And, you know, forgive yourself for anything that doesn't come out quite right. You know, you're in the middle of it. That's okay. Just keep going. That's the biggest thing. Keep going, keep doing. Don't bury your head in the sand. Just keep doing. Keep switching this internal focus to be more loving, more higher vibrational, and start seeing the good in stuff as well as matching like the way you speak to yourself and other people. And that's going to help you change these thoughts, and not by force of will, but because you no longer think that way. And when you no longer think that way, you're going to be in this much higher vibrational state and have this true freedom with the expanded consciousness. Drop a like, subscribe and comment if this resonated. And if you would like a private reading, there is also a link at the top of the description, the way you can book a reading with me. I'm Karen from Soldier and Tarot, and I'll see you in the next pile or the next video.